Ah, yeah. Hey, Amaru. Only if you're ready. Let's go. I'm only looking for loyalty. All I need from you. I'm thinking you be the one for me. I can see it on you. Your love that do me every time. With you by my side, we gon' shine. Baby girl, you know you royalty. I've been waiting for you. Me no care about all the noise, but I'm digging your station. See how you got my head spinning with a body rotation. Couple days went by, now I'm losing my patience. Go ahead, drop a pin, girl, wanna know your location. What's your location? Had to pull a plug on your ex, now you coming my way out. I can switch it up for you, girl, I'm no longer a player. See that pretty face on my screen, that'll make my day out. Bea. I'm only looking for loyalty. All I need from you. I'm thinking you be the one for me. I can see it on you. Your love that do me every time. With you by my side, we gon' shine. Baby girl, you know you royalty. I've been waiting for you. Yeah. Do you know she royalty? Do you know she royalty? I be that one that a girl heart racing. I did feel like with her we can take over nations, yeah. We can take a trip whenever, girl, you need a vacation. Number one bad girl, killing everything like on a mission. Girl on a mission. Had to pull a plug on your ex, now you coming my way out. I can switch it up for you, girl, I'm no longer a player. See that pretty face on my screen, that'll make my day out. Bea. I'm only looking for loyalty. All I need from you. I'm thinking you be the one for me. I can see it on you. Your love that do me every time. With you by my side, we gon' shine. Baby girl, you know you royalty. I've been waiting for you. Yeah. She royalty. Do you know she royalty? Yeah. Do you know she royalty?
When do it becomes When do it becomes
Hello everyone. Happy Sunday. Hope you're all doing good today. One in the chat if you can hear me, please, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe button as always. Helps let the algorithm know that we're here, and hopefully you should get a notification when the podcast is going to go live. Thank you everyone for coming as always. How's everyone doing? Happy Easter, Ramadan, and please help me out in the comment section if I'm missing any. I think there's quite a few religious holidays being observed at the same time at the moment, but whatever you are observing, wishing you blessings in these holy days. And I found this picture of Meghan with a bunny. I've never seen this before. Does anybody know where this is? Or is this one of those like weird AI generated ones? Because I've literally never seen this before, but it's a cute picture. All right, let's see who's in the chat. Yeah, I'll take one or two callers today if anybody wants to come up. Just give me a sec and I will get the link in the chat. Hey CZQ, hey Gwen, hey Lane, hey Black Queen, hey Alice, happy Easter to you. Hope you're doing well. Is it just because I'm an old woman now? I don't do chocolate eggs anymore. Like I see them in the shop, but I'm no longer compelled to eat chocolate eggs. Calamity Girl, I have a question. If Charles makes Camilla queen, when Charles dies, does that make Camilla ruling queen? And will William still be a prince? No, I believe that William is still in the line of succession and it will be him next. But the way Camilla is going, I think that she will make William's life a living hell. Because, I mean, I think she's pretty much pulling a lot of strings right now. But as and when Charles goes, and he'll, you know, I don't want to be morbid, but he may go before Camilla. It should be William to take the throne. He isn't, next in the line of succession. It's just, you know, you want the throne, but we're playing Game of Thrones, and Camilla is really going hard. So goodness knows what it'll be like when Charles is gone, but at least another 20 years. Right. Oh, yes, I was going to put the link in the chat. So anyone that wants to come up, one sec, folks. On the chat. There you go. Link is in there. I don't really have a whole lot to go through today, so there'll be more time to talk if you do want to talk. Yes, you're starting already, Suzy Q. Like, really, do you know what I think is happening at the moment in the royal households? I think that they are more concerned with sticking it to Harry and Meghan than anything else. That they're not looking at the wider picture and how certain things look and make them look. I just think they are so consumed. They did not expect that the Netflix documentary would be as big and global as it has been. They did not expect, although we knew, we knew for a while, they did not expect for Spare to be the global smash hit that it is and continues to be. I mean, I've been to Lisbon Airport, Amsterdam Airport, and it's there, number one. They didn't expect any of this. And so it's like they're just scrambling. What they really should be focused on right now is the British people. And instead, they're on some vengeance spree. When it comes to Harry and Meghan, what they need to be doing is asking for forgiveness and building bridges. But I think that they have just decided they have gone into full-blown destruction mode. I don't think there's any chance of reconciliation because I just think that, I'm sorry to say it, but I just think that Harry's family really want to bring harm to him and his wife. I don't see that they want to reconcile. By the way, for those of us who watched the Netflix documentary, do you remember this? When Harry and Meghan were planning an Easter hunt around the Montecito grounds, and hopefully they've had lots of fun this year. I believe it's at the White House, right, where they have like an Easter hunt. I can totally imagine Harry and Meghan organizing something like that for the local kids. Remember when they donated to the Christmas parade, the Montecito Christmas parade? I can totally imagine them doing something like that for the neighborhood kids. Really cute. And I also came across this interesting picture on Twitter today. This is Harry with the now King Philippe of Spain as a young boy, and 30-something years later, both grown. Incredible picture. I think Harry is really stepping into his destiny. Also, in the middle of all of the drama this week, I thought, let me make myself laugh, even though this is absolutely nothing to laugh about. This is just me being very petty and shameful. But who remembers this? These are my favorite songs from the Queen's funeral. Thousands of hospital appointments were cancelled, and we were closing food banks. This was peak Mourn Hub. I literally can't believe that this was September, only September, and that this happened. We were closing down hospital appointments and food banks. Nothing says celebrate the life of someone who has lived in luxury like disadvantaging the poor even more. And here we are moving towards the clowning, and it continues. We're going to be spending tens of millions on this. Camilla's dress alone probably be a cool 50,000. And we've got a list long of issues in the UK. And this family is more concerned about being salty about Harry and Meghan than helping its own people. They're more concerned about getting on planes to go to other countries to deal with other political issues than dealing with what's at home. Also, guess what, guys? Drum roll, please. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? We have another performer for the Coronation. Yay! Someone agreed to perform. Bette Midler. Absolutely no shade to Bette Midler. No shade to Bette Midler. But do you know what this tells me? It tells me that no major acts from the UK are interested in the clowning. Bette Midler is American, and I thought we didn't like Americans, and Americans were too Hollywood for the royals. But here we are. The only other semi-major star, because again, no offense to Bette Midler, very talented woman, amazing career, but you know, I wouldn't say she's not Billie Eilish, you know what I mean? She's not Ed Sheeran, she's not Adele, like she's not hugely current, like top 20 current. I don't know why she agreed to do this. I don't think anyone who's taken their career seriously right now is agreeing to do this. But so far we've got Bette Midler, we've got Lionel Richie, who's gonna have to go all night long. All night, it seems, because very few other people want to perform. I believe there's also going to be things like ballet and choirs, like those type of acts. They'll be able to get quite easily, but major star power, they have failed. So yeah, there's that. Okay, before I go into the major story, I'll take your comments. Welcome to chat, everyone. If you're just coming in, thank you ever so much for joining us. You are very much appreciated. Thank you, Maggie M, for the coffees. Happy Easter to you as well. I'm so grateful to have you as part of the squad family. Ruth, you said focus on the people. That's a laugh. Camilla does not care about the people, neither does Chuck. No, unfortunately, they don't. Unfortunately, they don't. Gwen, can't believe she agreed. Listen, COVID times were hard on everyone. Everyone except Tory politicians getting PPP contracts that they never fulfilled. So for everyone else, you know, you got to take the coins where they come. And if the coins are coming from Chucky and the taxpayers' purse string, damn it, you take those coins. Tanya, Bette Midler most likely agreed for Lionel Richie. Maybe. Lionel Richie called in a favor. He was like, girl, listen, remember back in 1990, whenever, and I did that thing for you, you still owe me a favor, girl. That's what happened. That's literally what happened. Palace sources told me that Lionel Richie went to Bette Midler and said, you owe me a favor. Can you please come to the UK for Chucky's clowning? Valerie, who listens to Bette Midler? Good question. From my understanding, she's more of a musical actress person. I don't know a single hit from Bette Midler. All I know her for is like films. There's a South African opera singer. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Do we know the name of the South African opera singer. Great to see people from the continent doing opera. But respectfully, I need a name. Yeah, she needs the money. Listen, we all need coins. We all need them coins. It's just how the world spins. Okay. Let's. Okay, I can see 2 callers have come in, so I'm just gonna race ahead to the main talking points, and then I'll let you come up. Why Android and Miss September. Okay. Right. This Rob Jobson book that's come out, to me, 100% a hit job. And over the last day or two, first and foremost, the way they kept this book so damn silent, it lets you know that it was a hit job. Because if you look at a lot of the headlines that have been coming out, a lot of what is being said is stuff to counter what was said in the Netflix documentary in Spare. Like, Prince Harry being stripped of Duke of Sussex title discussed at highest level. Well, yeah, it was probably discussed, because Harry and Meghan said in the Netflix documentary that they wanted to give up the titles. Now, we never got an explanation as to why they were not allowed to give up the titles, although I have my suspicions why. Because that could open a can of worms. But to everyone's surprise, they very clearly stated in the documentary that they had offered to give up their titles. And yet, forever, we have heard, strip them of their titles. From the whole tabloid media, strip them of their titles. Well, they wanted to give up their titles. Also, this came out that apparently Charles spent his final hours foraging for mushrooms as Anne never left the Queen's bedside. You were foraging for mushrooms. And apparently Harry didn't even know about the Queen's death until much later. This is just according to the tabloids, actually. I don't even know if that's true. I'll be very surprised. Because I got a phone call, a message from someone who knew someone who worked in the police at about 1:30 that London Bridge had been Operation London Bridge had been deployed. So I'm sure we'll get more clarity about that one day. But yeah, I find it weird that they would put this out, because I don't think this makes Charles look good. Anyway, also with Rob Jobson and this whole book, it has backfired spectacularly. Sorry, I went to the wrong slide. It has backfired spectacularly on Kate. I mean, people who aren't even in the squad have been making comments about this. Just how out of touch it seems. And you got to remember that they do converse with the royal reporters and the tabloids. So if at all Kate felt, okay, this is making me look bad, there would have been a leak already. This was basically, there would have been a leak to try and clean up the mess that Rob Jobson and the Daily Mail have created. But this was Meghan Made Kate Cry, the remix, the sequel, and it did not go down well at all. And just the final thing before I go to calls. Yeah, Andrew is well and truly back in the fold. Well and truly. We are now seeing the normalization of Andrew, but I saw it coming. When I saw him at the Queen's funeral as part of that vigil, and not a single person in the British public had the balls or ovary sacks to grab that man down from that platform, I knew it's been accepted that he's back in the fold. There was not one person who had the balls or ovary sacks to grab that man off that podium. Let it be France. He would have been dragged to the tower. And yeah, he was here at the Easter walk, everybody looking all nice and smiley. Walking next to Meghan is apparently very difficult. Walking next to the nonce prince apparently isn't. And they're making it be very clearly known that it's okay to behave the way that Andrew behaved, but we're going to accept it because it's him. But the way they treat Meghan, what is there to even say? I will hand it over to you to speak instead. Just remember the rules, people. Keep it respectful, on topic, and respect time. But I'll give you like a good 5 minutes each or so to talk. I'll let you ramble on for a little bit. Let's just go to some of the comments actually before I let you come up. Let's see. Hello everyone, if you're just coming in. Ruth, I totally believe Anne was the only one who stayed with Liz till the end. Yeah, I can believe that too. Anne and was Edward up there? LMZ, yes. I did see Kate's dark nail polish. I didn't even bother to get the picture because you know something? I feel like they're going to start doing things like that because they know that we'll talk about it. Because they'll know that these are things that they told Meghan that she couldn't do. And now they're turning around and doing them all. What LMZ is referring to was that Kate was wearing dark nail polish at the Easter walk. But apparently Meghan wearing dark nail polish was going to bring down the monarchy. Must not have been much of a monarchy in the first place. You know what's even more crazy about the whole Easter walk thing is that they tried to do Meghan made Kate cry 2.0 when there's footage, literal footage of the way that she was behaving, of the way that William was behaving towards his wife. No wonder she was salty that day. Wouldn't even hold her hand or open the car door. Right, YM Droid, you can come up.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
I am fantastic. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Thanks. Well, happy Easter to you and to all of the squatties and moddies with us today. Hope that everyone's having a good one. And if you celebrate anything else, a happy Passover. I think it's happy Passover. I don't know for sure, but the sentiment is there. And
Happy everything to everyone.
there we are. And Ramadan Mubarak, I think. So yeah, hopefully everyone's having a good Sunday if you don't celebrate any of it. But yeah, I couldn't believe that headline about the worst thing happening to Kate being that yeah, having to sit in the car with Meghan. I'm like, okay, come on. There are at least 10 examples of public speaking obviously being the worst thing to ever happen to Kate. There's this is the same person who can't string together a coherent sentence about what is it, Shape Up or early
Baby's
shape,
brains.
whatever. She can't put together a single coherent sentence for anyone to keep up with whatever it is she's supposed to be a patron of. And somehow having to sit in a car with someone who can actually put together their thoughts in an intelligent manner is the worst thing that happened to her. Not the fact that she has to schedule time with her schedule appointments with her husband in order to be touched by him, because apparently, judging by the 6 feet of distance he's keeping between them at all times, you know, I don't know if she has to be tested for COVID or are you still Kate, before she's allowed to come near him and, you know, and try to grasp at his hand. But whatever it is, you know, that's not the worst thing. Oh no, the worst thing is being, you know, being sat next to the person who you go out of your way to try to copy. That's that's the worst. I just I don't know. I
Yeah, there
there
were. I don't know if you saw the commentary, but people were like, "Yeah, I can totally understand. I mean, like, I did lose my brother to cancer, but I can totally understand like where Kate is coming from."
it is there I don't know, like I feel like they're just all on a really bad version. They're on some bootleg version of ChatGPT at this point, coming up with headlines to try to make Meghan, who is hopefully living her best life, tuned out to all of these idiots, not really popping up for much of anything over the past few months, save for a few of the charities she goes to with actual contributions in hand. Save for that, she hasn't been doing walkabouts anywhere or any quote unquote attention seeking things anyplace. And yet they can't keep, they can't make anything happen without dragging her into it from some absolutely just ridiculous angle, of her being the worst thing that happened to the royal family. I'm like, oh my goodness, wait until they learn that she taught them how to season food. Harry actually uses spices in his food now. It's the worst thing to ever happen to the British monarchy. What are they gonna do? Food with flavor. And I bet that she even introduced washcloths to a few of them. So it's,
Mm.
I mean, the list is
I mean,
probably
yeah, a mile long. Are you gonna be watching The Clowning?
I I'm only gonna watch if they read out all of Camilla's titles. So just I heard this from a royal insider, and I can't spill the beans on who it is. All I'm gonna say is there may be a member of the Sussex squad embedded among the Cambridge children. Just pay attention to how Louis treats his mother. So, not naming any names, but yeah. So Camilla, Queen Come Up, Duchess of Disgrace, Sultaness Silky Chicken, Empress of Envy, Maharani Mistress, Pharaohess of Ponies, Khaleesi of Kooks, Khalifa Callus, Shoguness of Shamelessness, Prime Minister of Pretense, ruler of the ruthless, governor of grandiosity, mayor of megalomania, chairman of conceit. If they read out first of her name, if they read out all of them Game of Thrones style, I may tune in. And I will be keeping an eye out to see if the holy oil burns when it hits or it sizzles when it hits her and Chuckles. But I don't know. Other than that, I'll definitely be tuning in for your highlights and any highlights that that Baron gives. But I don't know. I do hope that the spirit of Diana shows up and trips one of them walking up the aisle. But I don't know. Or maybe they can fall over one of those olive branches that they've got lying around that they've been apparently throwing in the direction of Montecito.
Oh, I'm trying so hard not to laugh because I want to take that and repost it as a short and a TikTok.
I listen.
Oh.
I'll I'll confess, I'm kind of a nerd, so I actually have a spreadsheet full of these, but just so that I wouldn't forget. But Queen Come Up, I'm gonna.
Queen Come Up. Oh, I love it.
That's
That is
that.
actually a
Yeah.
really good name for a YouTube channel. If you want to, any of those would be great for YouTube channels. You want to join the squad, like podcast space. I think any of those would be fantastic. I'll make you a logo.
I've been considering it. Not well for some of these ridiculous headlines. There's a late night show here. I honestly can't even remember which one, but they used to do this thing called with celebrities read mean tweets, and I kind of just want to take some of the more ridiculous things that they have and just fact check them. For
Hmm.
how silly they are. But I've been considering it, but we'll see. I don't know. Like I only have weekends usually to squeeze stuff in, but I
Well,
yeah,
that's how you start.
that's true. That's true. If anyone would tune in for my shenanigans and foolery, I have a lot. I have a lot for them. I have a lot for Dr. Grande and his ridiculous takes on some of their stuff that comes out. He's not super frequent in the deranger category, but he definitely gets some in there.
Well, thank you so much for making us all laugh. As always, why I'm enjoyed.
You've got it. And again, have a happy Easter and a great Sunday to all,
Thank you.
except for Queen Come Up.
Karen. Hello, Karen.
Easter.
Happy Easter to you. Thank you for the proverbs you sent me.
Oh, okay, great. Great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I didn't get to catch you yesterday, but I listened to it, and it was so good. I'm so glad that you touched on that topic because, well, I mean to say, it came up that we do have to touch on it anyway.
Mm.
In regards to the book and him talking about Kate finding it difficult to do the walkabout with Meghan, and what you mentioned about how Meghan looked on that walkabout, and that was the first thing I saw, and I did mention it, and I think it was on either Byron or Petals, when they had the call in right after the walkabout, how petrified Meghan looked. Even when she's, from she stepped out the car, because, I can just picture the whole scene from when she stepped out the car, because she was the last person to come out the car, and while the rest were speaking, because they already shaked hand and was speaking to the guy that was standing at the side there, and Meghan came out the car and she stand back. She didn't go into their conversation. She just stayed out of it because you can tell that this is a person that she didn't want to be there, and secondly, she don't want to be she know that whatever she do, they're going to come after her, so she was staying out of it. And Harry actually left, looked back to see where she was, and left and went over to her and brought her forward and introduced her to the guy. And then it's when William make a turn and say, oh, like he was introducing Meghan to the guy, and then that's when she shake hand with the guy. But when they came out that gate, because even when they left and the guy told them what they're going to be doing, and they were coming out, Meghan if you look at that video, Meghan held Harry's hand, and the way how she held Harry's hand so tight, he even noticed it. He looked down at his hand and he looked at her, and he held her even thing, and she was even like walking close up to him. She was so petrified, like her hand was shaking when she took his hand, and he noticed it, and he looked down at her and he squeezed her hand tighter and looked at her, right, like reassuring her that don't worry. And as soon as they're coming out to the gate, he makes sure he scanned that crowd, right?
Yeah, and this is actually sorry to interrupt you, Karen, but this is actually something else that I don't think anyone's really touched upon. At the very end, when they're getting ready to go, and then Jason, sorry, not Jason,
It
Lee
wasn't
Thompson.
Jason, it was Lee, the Lee guy.
Yeah, Lee Thompson comes over to try and get that money shot, which is what I think that this whole walkabout was about. That money shot, that's what it was about. It wasn't about anything else. But if you notice Harry's eyes in that moment, if you go back and watch the video, like he is literally scanning the crowd, and it's like his eyes are looking the crowd, but his arms are towards Meghan, and he brings Meghan back towards him, and the way that Kate steps toward, and I think this is another reason why a lot of people have called BS on this whole thing, because we've got video.
Yes, Meghan was, if you see Meghan there, she was petrified coming out there and walking. She was so scared. You can see it in her face. Okay, that hug that she got, that girl did the best thing for her at that time, because she needed that hug. And if you look at that hug, you can see the passion in it between her and the girl. Okay, and it put a bit of ease for Meghan at that point in time, but she was petrified. And when that guy went up to her, asked to get the flowers from her, okay, Meghan jumped. She was like, she didn't expect anyone coming, because I think that was the agreement that no one was supposed to approach her, especially from Williams them group. Because when he went over and he tried, either he touched her, or he tried to talk to her while she was talking to somebody, and asking, and she didn't know why he would be coming over to her, but she like was surprised, like there was this shock in her that someone come and talking to her, and it wasn't Harry, right? So you can see that look in it, that walkabout, and that if you look at that video, it tells a lot inside of there. But this is someone that and I mentioned it before on the talk. There's something that they have done to Meghan.
Yeah.
Okay. They have done something to her that we did not. And this is before Harry book came out that I mentioned this. Because the way how Meghan is so timid and so like she doesn't want to be around them. Okay. You can tell that they did something really bad. And I'm saying William did something really bad to her. Okay. That she is in that place that she has to get a lot of healing to be in their company. Okay. And I said that before the book came out, and I said it even before this walkabout, and this walkabout proved my point, and the book came out and it confirmed it. It confirmed one of the stuff that happened. But something went on when he talked about her, William putting his hand in, pointing in her face or whatever, and she had to tell him, "Get your hand out of my face."
Yeah.
Okay, that was one of the things that happened. But something went on that it was so, and I mean to say the stuff that went on when he grabbed Harry and stuff like that. Those things are some of the things that would traumatize you and to be in somebody's company like this, because if Meghan was there, this kind of behavior was going to be happening in front of her. He went over there to approach her, okay, and then calling her rude and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so
because I don't believe that. So I don't believe that would have been like an isolated incident, or that William would not have like gone off at any points like in front of Meghan, or she wouldn't have seen that in if not a physical altercation, some kind of just like really his so-called boiling hot rage where he's screaming and yelling.
Yeah, I'm sure she saw his rage multiple times, and it's not even the physical touch, just his approach. Because you can tell how he went into Harry's house, he approached him, and his behavior towards him, his voice, the way how he speaks to people without any respect for them. Okay, that behavior. And I mean to say, anyone as a woman, as a whether black, white, or whatever it is, okay, someone coming and approaching you and talking to you like that, a man approaching and talking to you like that, okay, that alone is abusive. Okay, that alone is abusive. So I can understand her recoiling, okay, in the presence of them, and thing, because she's looking for Harry to keep her safe, to have her, and that's what that whole hand thing, and that's what this is all about. Because you can see her cringing when they first started to walk out. It's this thing is so serious, it's not funny. And he's talking about Kate was what? It was the most difficult. Yes, it was the most difficult thing for her to do, because now you have to face Meghan after the truth came out, after the Oprah thing came out.
Yeah.
Okay, and the truth came out. Now you're in close proximity with her, and now you have to face her. Exactly. Now you have to face her. Okay, so of course it's going to be difficult for you, because now the truth, we all know the truth. Okay, so
Karen, I'm gonna let the next caller come on, but thank you so much. Like,
you take care. Happy Easter, guys. Enjoy.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
All right, Rahini, are you doing a Sunday shift, Rahini?
No, I'm not. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
This is the first time I'm not at work. At first, but I still can't misbehave because I actually had surgery yesterday, so I
Oh,
have
bless.
so I can't laugh too hard because because of my burst my stitches. But um, but what really this what's his name, Jabba the Hutt or whatever. This is clearly their revisionist history tactics. And my little tinfoil hat is tingling because remember, right after the funeral, they actually issued some sort of order that certain footage is supposed to never be aired again. You remember that?
Mm. Sorry, say that
So,
again, darling.
can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, you want for me you want a bit muffly. Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, no, I'm saying right after the Queen's funeral. Do you
Yeah.
remember they issued an order saying that certain footage from the funeral was supposed to never be shown again?
Oh yes,
So this
yeah.
is just him trying to revise history. You put away the footage, you're thinking that nobody will ever see it, but they forgot about the internet. It is everywhere. Everybody saw Meghan looking timid and scared of you people because you spend so much time before talking about they're going to be booed, they're going to be this, and they're going to be that. We saw her be scared, but not Miss Kate. Miss Kate was strutting there, walking. The minute you all saw when she came out of the car, and she was just strut, strut, fling the hair, pose, look at me. Are you kidding me? Nobody believed that. We saw her smiling like a hyena. You understand? And then at the funeral, she literally was Laura Croft Tomb Raider with every single jewels of the Queen on, and her small frame just weighted down by so much jewelry. Any little breeze passed and she'd have fall over and hit her head on the casket. It was so ridiculous. We saw you. And this man, didn't we cancel him? And didn't we cancel him
Who?
when he was threatening Archie? Why is he still there?
Oh, Roger. Yeah, he's
W-
back with a vengeance, and he's back with a book.
It is ridiculous. I'm tired. I'm exhausted with these people, but unfortunately for them, we have the footage, and Kate was quite happy. See, and I don't believe that she was worried about anything. I think she liked seeing Meghan so scared that I didn't even realize they rode together. All four of them rode together.
Yeah, they were in the same car,
And
and
you
like
remember
you gotta
there was
wonder what was happening in that car.
there was this story about Meghan being late. It is because the walkabout was last minute. So she was late waiting. They said she was late, and she was waiting for her stylist to bring her a dress. All that nonsense was out there. So I listen, they need to make up their mind. They need to make up their mind on this nonsense. And as for Andrew, this is the thing with Andrew, right? And I think we need to realize what Andrew did is not new to them. They are not shocked by it. This is what a lot of these men in that position, that sort of position, does. The only difference is that he got caught. All of them probably doing the exact same thing, and worst, they just have not been caught. So there's probably a lot of sympathy for him. So he would easily ease back in to this free quickly. So I'm not surprised at him being there at all. He's ridiculous. It's just sad to watch.
Hmm.
This is very, very sad. But this is them trying to revise history before our eyes. And unfortunately for them, the Sussexes speak for themselves.
Yeah.
I think this idea of the source close to the palace, that's not hitting anymore. It's not working anymore because we know the Sussexes, when it comes to their life, they speak for themselves. They don't hide behind sources, they don't hide behind leaks. They come out and they say what they mean, and they mean what they say. And they don't need you. They don't need you.
And now we've got
I
the squad who wasn't there during the Diana era.
exactly. So We have receipts, and
Yeah.
we're not gonna let them lie with it. And
Yeah. No, thank you so much,
sometimes I
Rahini.
feel sorry for Kate, but she wanted
Yeah.
this, so she wanted this. Oh, and I'm trying to do a fundraiser. I'll give you details in the week once I
Perfect.
get better. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Rahini. Thank
Bye,
you. If you feel
squad.
better, feel
Happy
feel better.
Easter.
Happy Easter to you too. Right, Zen. Zen, have you been up before? Hello. Hello. Okay, Zen, you're a little bit choppy, so I'll come back to you. We'll go to Mina and then we'll go to Lightside. Hello, Mina.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh, hey everybody, happy Easter. Let's see, I ain't gonna be here too long because I'm helping out with cooking and everything.
No worries.
Let's see, what do I want to say? Yeah, I'm trying not to be too long on here. Let me see. So the hardest thing for Kate was doing that walkabout with Meghan and Harry. Girl, bad. You should be worried about that whole situation with your husband and his alleged mistress. That's what you should be worried about. And like they just get on my nerves. At first I wasn't gonna watch the coronation, but I think I might just watch the tomfoolery of it all. Because I want to see it go down. I probably may end up missing it depending on the time because I'm in a different time zone. But I probably just may watch clips of it or probably try to watch the whole thing. It all depends. I want it go down because I already know it's gonna be a what, and I'm here for it.
Cool. Well, you know that I will be here to give you all the details. So you don't have to talk to yourself if you don't want to, but I think it's going to be a show.
I'm pretty sure it will. You got the protesters there saying they don't want king and his thought of a wife, not their queen. Well, she was never a queen to begin with, but I digress. Then you got Will and his alleged mistress there and her kids,
And the husband.
potentially his, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, the husband too. Yeah, I know that should have Kate quarreling in her. How do you say it? Quarreling in her something? I don't know. That should have her shaking in her boots. Is the phrase that I'm using. And then like, Will, don't you realize the same thing that was happening to your little brother is happening to you? That's the part that I don't get. Your daddy is using you as a sacrificial lamb to make him and his horse, as y'all say, look good. I I would say I feel sorry for him, but I really don't. The only people I feel sorry for in that situation is those kids.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't ask to be born into this absolute mess, and those kids are, um, just by being in this family are being so traumatized, and thank goodness for Harry for
Yeah,
opening a door that maybe, just maybe, that they can walk through if they want to. But I think unfortunately for William and the rest of them, the press have so much hanging over their heads that they have to be willing, I think, to just take a hit. And as I've said before, at this point, if the British public are so open to having Andrew back in the fold, I don't think there's really anything that is so bad that they couldn't confess their own sins and be free. So I think really they're just
as I
torturing
said before,
themselves. But yeah, thank you so much, Mina.
oh, you're welcome.
Enjoy your cooking. Sorry, I just wanted to say thank you to Legs for the super chat. You said Em was worried because as the Queen died, the press blamed her. The press treated her like, yeah, then she had to be around the deranged fans. It's overwhelming. Yeah, it must have been just an assault on the senses for Meghan. Not just being there physically around all of that, but knowing that the entire darn world is watching. It's just such a weird existence. You can't even really begin to imagine it, right? Literally the whole world and the press watching, commenting, and it's not even something that you have control over. I think it takes a very um particular person to not only be able to bear it, but to just somehow cope day to day. I don't know how she does it. You can definitely see why a lot of famous people just go crazy. But she has a good support system. She has Harry, and at least she's out of that institution. Right, light side. Hey, hey.
Hey Anne, how are you doing?
I'm good. Y'all, you should know by the way that light side knows all my tea. Like we be swapping tea and notes all day. who I'm dating. Light side on the scale of 1 to 10, how cute was the guy that I went on a date with the other
He was
night?
cute. He was cute.
Yeah,
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say an 8, 8.5.
an 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's
And
fair. I'll
definite
give him like 9.5, but okay, you want to give
right.
him 8.
You had the 3D experience. I just want to say that. um but just to kind of jump on point and kind of get through this really quickly, I want to say first, Rahini, I'm wishing you a speedy recovery from your procedure, and I want to wish all the squaddies a happy Easter today. I know I should be on my best behavior, but it's not going to happen. Um, so, so I want to just start off by just commenting on a couple of things that a few of the squaddies said earlier. Like I think someone mentioned, Karen mentioned William pointing the finger into Meghan's face. We talked about this before, but I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, it's like when when you're in a work environment and you're kind of butting heads with someone, or you're in a certain situation and you're not seeing eye to eye with someone else, and you're trying really hard to not go there, and you finally go there because you realize that if you don't check that person and correct them, they're going to keep disrespecting you. If she had to make the point of saying, "Hey, get your finger out of my face," that was the end of that facade of we're just going to be cordial with each other, we're going to be nice and pretend that we're getting along and everything. Once she had to check him like that, it was game over. Like he had to look at her differently and say, "Whoa, I can't do that with her anymore," or something's going to happen. He might have tried that with other people and gotten away with it, but once Meghan shut him down, he had to have looked at her differently from that point on. And I think that was the end of like, we're not cool. We're not going to be cool like that anymore. You're going to respect me and know that if you tried it again, this is what's going to happen. Um, so regarding Kate's fake upset, I was thinking about what Mina said. And I don't know why I didn't think about the Rose situation being something that Kate should have really have thought of. Of course, she probably couldn't have said it out loud, right? And her people wouldn't have been able to say that out loud. But this is just all fake. It's made up. It's not real. As you can see on social media, everyone is just like, calling her out for the ridiculousness of her like bringing that up. And I just can't help but it's kind of giving that certain person who was upset with you about something, and they 6 months later come to you and say, "Hey, Anne, you know that thing that you did to me 6 months ago? I just want to it upset me." That's what it feels like. It's ridiculous, right? It's garbage. It doesn't make any sense. Why bring it up now? And
Yeah.
if they thought that it was to benefit her image, obviously they're wrong, because social media is telling a whole other story and they're not buying it. But that leads me to the next point, because I wanted to actually ask you what your thoughts on with this situation. We all saw that it's not working and that no one's buying it, right? And I just started thinking, like, what if this is a setup to set Kate up to not expose her, but to kind of like make her look bad? Because for you to like I know like they don't think much when they put the titles out and some of the stuff is made up, but how could you not imagine that after everything that happened before, to come back and play victim and to point out your sister-in-law, right? And Harry, or the other couple that was there, and to say, you know what, I was uncomfortable that day, not because I was upset, because my grandmother passed, or my husband's relative passed, and it was a stressful time for us, but because she was there and I had to walk behind this person. How ridiculous. I mean, even saying it out loud, it sounds ridiculous. I don't understand. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I just keep thinking that, you know, i- if Camilla really is working behind the scenes to throw Kate under the bus, or if they're working on a ploy to kind of throw her down
Yeah,
to get,
it's been rumored that apparently Camilla and Rose, allegedly for the lawyers listening, are like they're close. It's like Camilla's helping her or something. I mean, I guess she would, right? If anybody knows what
yeah,
it's like to be Rose, it would be Camilla.
yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I mean, that's really all I had to say about that. I just think it's just crazy. And one last thing though is that I actually ran into I think some of you guys may follow Joe Diva um on Twitter, or have seen her posts. She has
Oh
some
yeah. Oh, she's the one
mhm.
with the little dog, Zuzu.
Yes, yes, with a little dog. Um but she reposted something from one of the rangers in regards to the walkabout, and this person actually said, the Princess of Wales, and I'm quoting here, the Princess of Wales power during this walkabout was palpable. Meghan Markle was terrified of her the whole time, and it was so nourishing to watch. Okay, so she was terrified of Kate, but the story that's coming out is that Kate was bothered by that whole situation.
Mm,
Doesn't make sense.
yeah. I mean, surely, yeah, I'm sure that Kate would not have wanted to do it, and it did seem like it was very, last minute thing, and it was all about that photo. But you're not going to tell me that it was the most distressing thing you've ever had. I mean, just yeah, ridiculous.
What have you been doing with your time? If that is the most distressing thing. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
No, thank you so much as always, like,
Bye.
bye. Right, thank you so much, Alice Langdon, for the super sticker, and happy Easter to you. Y'all want to know what I was doing on my date? The middle picture, rooftop. It was very lovely, and he was very lovely. Okay, he was a gentleman, I swear. Right, let's go to your comments, and then sorry, we've got one more caller. Then hopefully your internet is working properly. You want to come up
Hi,
now,
can
Zen?
you hear me now?
Yeah, then I can hear you
Can
now.
you hear me now?
Go
Hi,
go
good.
right ahead,
Thank you
hon.
so much for this wonderful platform. It is
Oh
so
no worries, thank you
beautiful.
for
I
coming.
don't I don't want to stay too long, but I just wanted to say happy Easter to the squaddies, and I want to ask you, when we look at the between the documentary and the book
Hmm.
that Ari wrote, which the part of the book that got to me the most or moved me to tears the most was when Ari went on that flight and said he was on the freedom flight now. Do you all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So, so to me, when I saw that, I said to myself, how can a royal person, somebody born of royal blood, be on a plane and saying so excited that they made it to the freedom plane? It put me in the mind of slaves, like when slaves used to run through that railroad
Mm.
and find their way to freedom.
Yeah, because it was a very bold thing for him to say, actually,
Mhm.
considering where Harry is coming from. And a lot of people did side-eye what he said, but the fact that he, of all people, would say that and use that phrase, you just go, what on earth was happening in that household?
Exactly, exactly. So to me, when Kate and all of these people are coming with these backup story, and one of your callers said, we have the receipts. That is live, that is true, that is concrete, that we don't need to worry about these people, because those two people, Ari and Meghan, they were living in hell. And I don't think Harry to me is a very smart, intelligent person. I don't think Harry would have put his family and his wife through something that is gonna. He had to be on a plane and call it, "I am now on the freedom plane." You know, so to me that is enough to don't worry about the royal mess and on what they're
Yeah.
saying. But that's all I wanted to say. But thank you so much and happy Easter.
Oh no, thank you as well for coming up. Then, is it your first time you've come on?
Yes, yes, it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you,
Yes, but
thank you so much.
I've been following you and congratulations on your trip. It's
Thank
beautiful.
you,
I wish I could join you sometimes.
thank you.
Thanks. Mhm.
Have a great day. Right, that is gonna be all for today. Thank you as always. Thank you everyone for donating. Appreciate you all so much and the community that we've created. And like I always say, guys and dolls, I think it's gonna be absolutely fine. Um, at least there is some kind of community. At least there is, something. Sorry, a group of people that are looking over all of this and pushing back. And we've become such a force that you know we have shifted the conversation. I really do believe that we have. And just imagine, we never had this back in the days of Diana. How much social media has just changed the game. And so you should be proud of yourselves. And yeah, countdown to the clowning continues. Gonna end with your comments and then we will call it a day. Been going on for almost half an hour and Baron's either on or coming on and I don't want to overlap too much. If anybody has a link to Baron's live, please post it in the chat. And yeah, is actually when is Baron coming on? Oh, he's not coming on for another 99 minutes. Okay, so he's on a little bit later today. All right. Janet, Harry can run. He said there's what, another what did he say? Like enough for 2 more books. So there was a lot that they cut out of this one, right? Legs, thank you so much for the super chat again. You said, what does the British royal family think their end goal is? The crown hierarchy coming first doesn't work in a modern society. Is it to keep the money from the peasants? Yeah. What is the point at this stage? Because more and more people are just saying, well, why do we need monarchy? And I've always said that I actually don't mind if there is a monarchy if A, it pays for itself, B, they are not allowed to get away with corruption, and that they open up more of the palace grounds so they can pay for themselves. We are paying, I think it's 390 million pounds for the renovation of Buckingham Palace. There are over 300 rooms in Buckingham Palace. Open some tea rooms. Let some of the rooms be like registry offices. Let people get married there. It can pay for itself. A lot of this stuff can pay for itself. And instead, we are just upholding all of it with our taxpayer pounds and really getting nothing in return. Britain is a class society. The royals are at the top. And at this point, aside from taking money from the peasants' legs, it's really just to uphold the class system. Let's just be honest. And if those at the top of the class system are humbled, then the whole system starts to break apart. Right. Boyd, you may have it backwards. Maybe it's Meghan taking care of Harry, protecting Harry. You know what? That's a good point. We can only speculate, and I think Meghan took her vows, and she's going to be there for her man regardless. It's just hard, obviously, as fans to watch it sometimes. Oh, thank you so much, Janet, for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Hope you have a great weekend. Little Matt, I think that Harry and Meghan are not going to the Coronation. That's why the book is coming out now. Never thought about that. Maybe. Otherwise, they would have waited for Harry to be in England before dropping this nonsense story. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, this might actually be a sign that they're not coming. Or there was another interesting theory that they may be coming, but they've made a deal with the palace that if it leaks, then they won't come. That's another possibility. But that's a really good point, Little Mac. Thank you so much for coming, Valerie. Much appreciated. Oh, thanks so much, Educate You, for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Yeah, Susie, they should be using their own money. Use your own money. Why do you need mine? Renovating Buckingham Palace. Yeah, the renovations actually started a while ago, Tony, to be fair. They started a while ago. But it's costing such a ridiculous amount. And the British public have to stay behind gates. You don't even get to enjoy what you're paying for, and it could pay for itself. Do you know how many people would pay to go to Buckingham Palace? Or would pay to have their wedding in one of the rooms there? Or would pay to go have tea? Like, this is just a lack of innovative thinking. 390 for a balcony. Oh, we can still have culture and tradition. It should just not be at the expense of the normal working class people. That's all I'm saying. All right, Palena, I'm going to give you the last word of the day. Bye, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's keep praying for Harry and Meghan and their family. Everything happened for a reason. If we don't like it, amen to that, Palena. Even if we don't like it, everything has happened for a reason. And regardless of what happens, the Sussexes keep coming out on top. And with that, we'll call it a day. Thank you so much, everyone. As always, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Ciao.
Ah, yeah. Hey, Amaru. Only if you're ready. Let's go. I'm only looking for loyalty. All I need from you. I'm thinking you be the one for me. I can see it on you. Your love that do me every time. With you by my side, we gon' shine. Baby girl, you know you royalty. I've been waiting for you. Me no care about all the noise, but I'm digging your station. See how you got my head spinning with a body rotation. Couple of days went by, now I'm losing my patience. Go ahead, drop a pin, girl, wanna know your location. What's your location? Had to pull a plug on your ex, now you coming my way out. I can switch it up for you, girl, I'm no longer a player. See that pretty face on my screen, that'll make my day out. I'm only looking for loyalty. All I need from you. I'm thinking you be the one for me. I can see it on you. Your love that do me every time. With you by my side, we gon' shine. Baby girl, you know you royalty. I've been waiting for you. Racing. I did feel like with her we can take over nations, yeah. We can take a trip whenever, girl, you need a vacation. Number one bad girl, killing everything like on a mission. Girl on a mission. Had to pull a plug on your ex, now you coming my way out. I can switch it up for you, girl, I'm no longer a player. See that pretty face on my screen, that'll make my day out. I'm looking for loyalty. All I need from you, I'm thinking you be the one for me. I can see it on you. Your love they do me every time. With you by my side, we gon' shine. Baby girl, you know you royalty. I've been waiting for you. Yeah. Do you know she royalty? Do you know she royalty? Yeah. Do you know she royalty?
When do it becomes when do it becomes